Okay, happy day. So what we're going to be doing today is looking at the types of reactions. So I will be right with you. Okay, so here's what we're working on today. We're doing the types of reaction worksheet. So where you're going to go is you're going to go to Canvas, and then you are going to click under the modules. It's the one that says types of reaction worksheet in class. You're looking for the one that says in class. So I think it should be the third one from the bottom of the top module, okay? So once you click on that, you do need to actually click on the assignment. By the way, you don't have to watch the videos as long as you're here, right? So the videos are just for the absent students. So you're gonna click to load your worksheet. If you're ever in a situation, somebody told me last hour where you're not seeing the submit button, you're like, I can't find the submit button. Come back to here and reload your worksheet by clicking this gray button, and then it'll give you the submit button again, okay? So if you ever have a situation where your submit isn't where you're like, I can't find submit, if you reload this, it should work, okay?
Is it the chemical reaction though?
It is, no, it's types of reaction worksheet, and it says in class. So I think it's a third from the bottom of the top module, okay? Okay, so what you should have is you should have the box filled in where you can double click in the box. And one of the things that I told you was you could, let's make sure my pen's working here, is you could have dash, dash, and a greater than symbol. That will turn into an arrow. Once you hit the space bar, it should turn into an arrow for you, okay? All right, I am going to, I think the size is okay. This is decent. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do first. First, we're gonna go around the room, and I wanna make sure that you have these down. Now, you can look at it if you really need to, but my hope is that you don't need to look at these. So for example, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, Sarah, what is, there's no Sarah in here, by the way. I'm gonna say, what's combustion? And Sarah's gonna say, plus O2 arrow. If I say, Stephanie, what's single displacement? Stephanie says, element plus compound arrow. Okay, Stephen, what's double dating, double displacement? Compound plus compound arrow. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So let's first go over the 5 types so that we have this down. And then we're gonna work these out, and then we'll come back and make sure that we because knowing these is gonna be really helpful. If you know like what type it is first and you have that down, it's gonna make it really easy for us to fill in the blanks here. The other thing that I need to do is this. I know we did this before, but I'm going to do it again. If you see something like magnesium plus oxygen, Mg plus O2 yields MgO. This is called the skeleton equation. Okay, and so on Friday, there's going to be a quiz. Okay, and the quiz is going to have things about this, like what's the difference between a skeleton and a balanced equation? What is this called? It's called a chemical reaction. Chemical reactions are where you take elements and compounds, or just atoms in general, and you rearrange them. That's a chemical reaction. It'll have things like, what are the numbers in front called? If I put 2's here, then those are called, starts with a C, long name. Coefficients, good. And so the coefficients actually turn this into a balanced equation, because now I have 2 Mg's, 2 Mg's, 2 O's, and 2 O's, and now it's balanced, okay? Yes.
Types of chemical reactions?
Yeah, the one that says in class. Does it say in class on top? Types of reactions in class. Okay. All right. So now, and you guys have somebody look at where you are if you don't think you're in the right place. Okay. Okay. So now, I want to make sure we know elements and compounds again. Okay. So I'm going to go around the room again. We're going to do this again. I'm going to point at different ones. You're going to tell me if it's an element or a compound. Okay. So Mg, everybody, Mg, element or compound?
Element.
Why? How do you know?
One capital.
It's one capital. There you go. Element or compound? Oxygen. Element. Very good. It's one capital letter. How about MgO? Compound. Very good. Okay, so let's go back to the types of reactions here. And I'm going to point to one, and I want you to tell me if it is this too big? Let's see. No, this is good. I want you to tell me if it's an element or a compound, okay? All right, so we're just gonna kind of zigzag here, so we're gonna start with you. Okay, so H2CO3 right here. I think it might be easier if I do this. So H2CO3, element or compound?
Compound.
Compound, good. Next, AgNO3.
Oh,
CO2. Jason. Good. S. Element. Good. SCl2. Compound. What about Cl2, Rob?
Oh.
Element. This is a good one. This one's tough. Here's why. Whenever they use an L, a lowercase L, it could look like a capital I. That's why it's tricky, okay? So sometimes they do have like a capital I in there. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it obvious, or I won't even use it. But if I do use a capital I would actually have the top and the bottom so that you know the difference, okay? Okay, next one, let's do CU. Okay. Element, very good. And then let's get CuSO4, compound. We got this, right? Okay, so if you know the difference, that's gonna help a ton coming to this thing. Okay, so what is combustion? Combustion is when you burn something, okay? So it's exactly what it sounded like. So in the last class, I had put some methanol inside of here. You can use methane, you can burn methane like we did before with the gas, like you do at home on a stove, if you have a gas stove. That's methane that burns, okay? Methanol was the liquid that I put inside of here, and I spun it around and I dumped out all of the excess liquid, because it's not actually the liquid that you burn, it's the gas, it's the vapors that you burn. And I lit it, do you guys remember? It just went like whoosh, and then it's caught on fire, right? So in a combustion reaction, usually if you're reacting carbon or like carbon hydrogen compounds, you get two products that are fairly safe, Do you guys remember? At the end, I flipped it over and some liquid started dripping out of it. Do you guys remember what that liquid was that dripped out of it? It was water. Very good. You get H2O, and there's another product. It's a mix of carbon and oxygen, we call it carbon dioxide. Those are the two products. When you combust something that's like a carbon, they call them organic compounds, usually organic compounds, you'll get CO2 and H2O. Okay, those are the two products that you'll get. So that's combustion. But reacting anything with oxygen, just like when we did the magnesium reacting with oxygen, this is also called combustion. Now, this particular reaction is also called combination or synthesis. Why? Because you're making one thing, okay? So this one you could actually say is both combination or synthesis, and it's combustion. Okay, so let's come back here. Okay, second one, so that's combustion. Second one is single displacement. Single displacement, you have to have one element and one compound, or it can be compound plus element, it doesn't matter, and then the arrow, okay? So if you're looking at a reaction and you have one of them where you're like, oh, that one only has one capital letter, that's an element, okay? Next one, double dating, two compounds, and then they switch places. Okay, how are these two different from each other? Well, in single displacement, I do this one as if like a sports, you're playing sports and you're sitting on the bench, okay? When do you go in? When somebody needs a what?
A break.
They need a break, or you need to sub in, right? You go in, what happens? Somebody else comes out. It's one person in, one person out. So when you look at single displacement, sideline guy, bench guy or girl is going to go in, other person comes out. In double displacement, because it's two compounds, it's more like double dating. So I always say it's something like Amy and Brian are dating, Carrie and Dan are dating, and then they switch. So instead of Amy and Brian, it's Amy and Dan. Instead of Carrie and Dan, it's Carrie and Brian. Okay, so they just switch who they're with. All right, and that's a double dating one. Okay, synthesis and decomposition are opposite of each other. Synthesis I also call combination. It's like if you bought a combo at like Popeyes or at wherever, like McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever, and you get a combination. It can be like the burger and the fries and the drink, right? It's one thing. So this is taking a whole bunch of things and turning them into one. Or if you've ever heard of a synthesizer, do you guys know what that is? What a synthesizer is in music?
Yeah.
What does it do?
It's like a piano, isn't it? Kind of.
But
It's got like other tones.
yes, you can play the guitar. You can do guitar sounds. You can do flute sounds. You can do orchestra sound, like what's it called? Organ sounds. So it's taking a whole bunch of instruments and then making it into one. So that's synthesis, okay? Synthesis is you have a bunch and you turn it into one. Decomposition is the opposite. Decomposition is like when something decomposes. You take one thing, one squirrel, one cat, one plant, and then it breaks down. Okay, so like after things die, we know they decompose. Okay? All right, so here's what I want you to do. Try not to look. We're going to do the around the room again. Try not to look. I'm going to say combustion. So if I say combustion, you're going to say, everybody, plus O2 arrow. If I said double displacement, you would say compound plus compound arrow. If I said decomposition, you would say compound arrow. Okay, again, try not to look. Try to see if you can, should I make it smaller? Are we good? We're okay, right? Okay, so try not to look, okay? And while I'm doing this with other people, see if you could have gotten it, okay? Because we're only gonna do this around once. Okay, so let's start off with, we'll just go in order first. Combustion.
O2.
Oh wait, sorry, it's
O2 arrow.
O2 arrow, good. Single displacement, don't look, single displacement.
Compound arrow. Oh wait, is it compound plus compound arrow? No.
But if it's two compounds, then it's double, right? So what
What's
is
a
it if it's single?
Just compound arrow?
Compound with, you can look now.
I
Very nice.
don't even understand when I look at it. It's very,
Single displacement.
oh, there's a lot of letters.
SD for single displacement.
Element plus compound.
Element plus compound, very good. Okay, let's do a decomposition. Compound,
Yeah.
and then what?
Arrow.
Arrow, compound arrow. Synthesis. Arrow compound, good. So you're saying the compounds on the product side, very good. Double displacement. Compound plus compound, good. Single displacement.
Element plus compound.
Good. That wasn't even a look, I don't think. I think it was like a good, good, good. Combustion. Good. Let's do double displacement.
Compound plus compound.
Let's do one more round because I feel like you're starting to get it. I feel like,
I
right?
get it. Yeah, I can get it when I look at it now.
Yeah, yeah. Try not to look at it. Okay. Single displacement.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
You can look if you have to.
Compound, plus arrow.
Wait, what plus
Element
element plus
plus compound
compound
arrow.
arrow. Good. Double displacement.
Compound plus compound.
Good. Combustion.
Plus O2 arrow.
Good. Combustion again. Plus O2. Single displacement.
Element plus
Good. Synthesis.
Arrow compound.
Good. Decomposition. Good. Combustion.
plus O2 arrow.
Yes, we got it. We're just about there. Okay. So now watch what's going to happen when we go to do these. Okay. So there are only two on this entire list that are combustion. I want you to find them. And so when I say combustion, what are you looking for? You're looking for two that have oxygen on the left side. There's only two of them. Give me a thumbs up when you see them. We've done this? You should have yours open. If you don't have a laptop, go grab one, please. What numbers were they?
15.
10 is combustion. Ooh, I don't know why this is so big. 10 and 15. Awesome. So 10 is combustion and good, not good. Sorry, let's make sure I have this. Good. Okay, and 15. Awesome. Okay, so now, did we do single displacement yet?
No.
Okay, I believe there are 5 or 6 of them, okay? Single displacement is the hardest one out of all of them, okay? So what you're looking for is you're looking for one of them is an element and the other one is a compound. Now, do you guys want to do the easiest one first? Would you guys rather do the easiest first?
I don't think it matters to any of us.
Okay, easiest first is double dating, okay? Double dating is what? What is double displacement? Compound plus compound. I want you to find, and I think there are like 6 of them. I want you to find, and as soon as you find one, let me know. Start right at the top.
2.
Number 2, I like it. Somebody else, give me one.
4.
4, I like it. I see 2 compounds on the left, 2 on the right. Somebody else, give me another one. 11, yes, I agree. 11 is also double dating. Very good. Another one. There are two left. There are only two left. I heard one. 16, very good. 16 is double dating. I've got two compounds. There's only one left. It has to be two capital letters in both of them.
17 or wait, 18. Remember.
18, very good. There we go. Double datings are done. Okay. My opinion, doing combustion first and then doing double dating second is probably the easiest. Now we can do single displacement. Single displacement has to have one element, one compound, and you have to switch places. Find the person on the bench. There has to be one person on the bench, and then that person goes into play and somebody else comes out. Okay. So can we see? I think 1, 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 of them. 6 of them. Tell me one. Number 8. Very good. Single displacement. There's one on the sideline, goes into play. The other guy comes out. Okay, give me another one. 5. I like it. 5 is element and compound. Very good. 7, good. Compound elements. Very good. We've got 4 so far. We have 2 more. And I believe they are both underneath number 10. They're both below number 10. 12, very good. Compound elements. Good. So this is single displacement there. And I think there's only one more. Oh, 2 more. 2 more. 17, very good. Single displacement on 17. That's compound element and one more. 20. Nice. Right here, single displacement because I've got compound, 2 capital letters and 1 capital letter. We got this? Okay, now, the last two are either synthesis or decomposition. So let me repeat this. Decomposition starts with a compound on the left and then it breaks up. Synthesis is the opposite, okay? So let's start right at the top and I'm gonna go around the room again. You tell me, do you think it's synthesis or decomposition? Everybody together on number 1. Number 1, what do you guys think? Synthesis or decomposition? Good. Why? It's one thing and it breaks up on the other side, on the product side. Okay, so we're back to the beginning, I think. Okay, so Alphonse, what do you think this one is? Is something breaking down or something being made? Good, which means?
It's synthesis.
Synthesis, very good. Or a combination. The reason why they don't use C for combination is because there's already a C for combustion. Okay. Okay, next one, number 6. What do we think? Michael, what do we think on number 6?
Oh, that's decomposition.
Good. It's breaking down. Jason, number 9? Decomposition. Very good. Number 13, Timmy. Decomposition. Very good. NAF, Nadia? Is it one thing breaking down or is it making something? Is it making one thing? Oh, wait, did you say already? Wait, what did you, oh, you didn't yet. Okay. So does it look like one thing is breaking up or does it look, yes, which means it's decomposition. Very good. And last one, Rob, this one right here. Decomposition. Very good. Okay, you guys are going to do great on the quiz on Friday. This is like the majority of it. This is like a big part of it. Okay, and then being able to tell. Okay, now let's go up to the top of this and let's fill these in. We're going to go right in order from how the words are, and you can copy and paste the words if you want to. So Control C and then Control V to paste it. Which one of these 5 looks like combustion to you? Remember, combustion has to have plus O2 on the left. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 5, very good. So you're going to type combustion into number 5 or copy and paste it. Okay, second one. So we got this one. Decomposition. So remember, decomposition starts with 1 and breaks up. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. What number? 2. Very good. This is decomposition. Okay, the next one is single displacement. that's one person's on the bench and the other one's playing and then they switch places. So you have to have an element and a compound. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 3, very good. This is single displacement. So you can see I've got my team playing on the field. So there's my field. And this guy is sitting over on the bench. Okay, and then bench guy goes in, and then this the B comes out, and now B is on the sideline instead of C. Okay, so you can see they switch places. Okay, which one is double dating? So I have to start with 2 compounds. 1, 2, 3, go. 4, very good. I see 2 compounds here, so that's double displacement. And then obviously the last one is synthesis, where we're making 1 compound in the end. So that one is synthesis or combination. Okay, you can go ahead and turn this in now. So go ahead and click submit. Again, if you don't see the submit button, you have to go back and click that gray box that says load here to resubmit, okay? And then we are going to go back to Canvas after you submit, and I'm gonna show you where we are going on Canvas. So we're gonna go to modules again. We're gonna end up clicking on this quiz review. So it says chemical reactions quiz review. I'll keep it here for a second just so that we know where we are. So right under the types of reaction worksheet, it's the one right under it that says April 21st. Questions? Yes. Any other questions? Are we good? Okay.
Wait, what are we going
Okay, so we're gonna go to chemical reactions quiz review, the one that says April 21st. And then you're going to open up your doc, which is going to look like this. It'll look something like this. So I'm going to make sure I'll walk around just to make sure that everybody's with us on this. We're going to be filling out. So I originally thought you were going to get into groups and just do it alone, but people asked me, like I gave them like a few minutes, and then people were like, can we just do this together? Because I'm like, they were starting to get off task. I was so proud of them because I'm like, that's great that you're like noticing that you're off task and that you want to finish your work. So if that's ever a situation, please let me know, okay? All right, so we're actually going to go down to, I'm gonna make sure you guys are in the right place. We're gonna start with this. If you know how to fill it out, go for it. If you're not sure, I'll fill it out with you, okay? So, but when I type in, I'm gonna have to delete it after. You guys remember what was combustion plus what? Plus O2. Now, you don't have to, don't worry about subscript, superscript, but if you want to do a subscript, it's control and the comma, and then to get out of it. So if you want to do it, you can try it. So it's control, comma. To get out of it, you control, comma again. If you want a superscript, it's control, period. And so if you wanted to do superscripts, you could do that. And then control, comma is subscripts. So control, comma is subscripts, and then control Z undoes everything that I just did. Okay, and then you're gonna do your arrow, dash, dash, greater than symbol, space bar. Okay, all right, do you remember what was single displacement? Element plus compound. So EL, capital EL, plus capital C, capital P, D, and then your arrow, dash, dash, greater than, and then your arrow. Okay, let me just make sure everybody's on the right track here. So let me walk around. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, yours is loading. Make sure you're in the right place. You're good. Okay, yes, that's the one. I know. These are like slower. Hopefully it'll come up in a second. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to type the rest of them in, but let's just do them together anyway, okay? What about double dating? What are you doing for double dating? Double displacement. Compound plus compound arrow, very good. Okay, so you can type that one in. How about synthesis? Arrow compound, very good. Synthesis is arrow compound. And what about decomposition?
Compound arrow.
Compound arrow, good, compound arrow. So this one you should have compound and then your arrow. Okay, good. Are we good on this part? Okay, now let's scroll down to right here. Let's see if you remember this. I talked about this at the beginning of the hour when I was showing you this thing, okay? When hydrocarbons are like alcohols are burned in oxygen, what kind of reaction is that? Combustion. Go ahead and type that into that green spot right there. So that's combustion. And then it says, now I have a little bit of a rhyme for this. My rhyme is reacting O2 with cha or cho always produces co and ho, co and ho, co and ho. It's not like the bad type of ho. It's a certain type of ho. What is the hydrogen? What's the carbon oxygen combination?
CO2.
CO2, carbon dioxide. What was the stuff that dripped out of this?
Water.
H2O. Okay. So when I say co and ho, it's CO2 and H2O. So this in this green box, what does it produce? CO2. And don't worry about subscript, superscript, it doesn't matter. And then inside here is H2O. So again, it's reacting O2 with cho always produces co and ho, co and ho, co and ho. Okay, so that's what, and again, that's if you have a carbon compound. Okay, let me do this before we do the vocab together, okay? So if you had me, which all of you had me last semester, then you do have a login on Physics Classroom. If you want to just use guess just because you don't remember what your login is or it's not working, it's fine. So you're going to click on this. It just, if you log in, it just sometimes things run smoother, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter. So you're going to click on this and we're going to try at least one of these together. Now I'm going to tell you something. When you go to do, okay, wait for it. Okay, there it is. So here's guest. So I'm going to click start. And then there are 3 trophies. The third one is extra credit. You don't have to do this third one, these 4 questions. If you do, you cannot do it in this format. You have to click on this blue arrow in the top corner, and I put a note on there about it. Otherwise, what happens is when you go to do your matching, it won't let you drag. It won't let you drag. It'll let you drag. It won't let you drop it in the circle. So you take the ball. So for example, do you guys see which one of these is combustion? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Which one is combustion? 4. Good. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to drop this right in the circle. Oh, hold on a second. It should go right in. And then it gets bigger once it's in there. And then once you have them all set, then it'll check it for you and tell you if you got it right or wrong. Okay. This one I just did as extra credit. So if you get this, the trophy for this, then you can do that. I just hit escape to get out of it. But again, if you're in this format, watch. If I go to put this in, it won't let me put it in. It won't let me drop it. And then tapping it puts it back. It won't even let me do anything. Okay. But if you're in this format, if you enlarge it, then it'll let you drag. Okay. Okay. Let's look at trophy, the numbers 1 and 2. So let me go back to the main menu. Yes, return. Okay, let's look at this one because there's 8 questions and then 6 questions. So this is reaction type fundamentals. Okay, and the question says, which one of these statements, oh, hold on, let me go to, let's do one that, I want to do one that's a little bit faster because this one just has a bit of reading in it. Okay, it says, consider a reaction in which a larger many atom complex compound is broken down into simpler ones. What do we call it if you have one larger one and then it breaks up into smaller ones? Which one of these 5 is that? Decomposition. So what you would do is you would click decomposition, check answer, and then it says, yeah, good job. Then you got that one right. So you have to get 8 questions right. The nice thing about the program is if you get it wrong, it won't give you the same question. It'll change up the question until you get all the question types right. Okay, so that's kind of how this one works. All right, last thing, let's go back and do vocab. So you want to do the first 2. Okay, oh, perfect timing. Okay, so let's see if you can get this. Let me read the words to you first. Okay, there's no double displacement in this list. There's no single, there's no decomposition. So look at the words. Balanced equation, chemical reaction, compound, element. We know the difference now, right? Elements only have 1 capital letter. law of conservation of mass, products, reactants, skeleton equation, and coefficients, okay? Now, I don't care what order you do it in. So if you go to the first one and you're like, I'm not sure about that one, maybe you leave it alone, okay? So the first one is actually the hardest for most people, but let's see if you guys can get it. It says, the process in which atoms are rearranged to form new substances, chemical bonds are broken and reformed. What is that called? What's the process actually called when you break down the atoms and you reform them? What are we studying here? I think I'm hearing it, but I'm not sure. So if I'm not sure, I'm going to go to the next one and we're going to save that one for last, okay? Next one says a chemical equation that does have an equal number of atoms on both sides. What is that called when it has an equal number on both sides? Yes, I'm hearing it. Balanced equation. Now, you could just take this and X it out and drop it in here, Control X and Control, so X it out, Control X, right? X's it out, pulls it out, and Control V, paste it in. Okay, the materials that we start with in a chemical reaction, what are the materials that we start with called? You can look at your word bank. What are the things that we start with to the left of the arrow called?
I mean,
You're close. Yes, everybody?
yeah,
Everybody.
yeah.
Reactants, good. So you would take the reactants, and then that way I know I used it, Control X it out, and Control V paste it. What are the new materials called that we make? Good, everybody. Products, so take your products, X that one out. So we skipped number 1 for now, okay? A substance made of 2 or more different atoms bonded together. If you have more than 2 or more atoms, what do we call it? Look at your list. What do we call a compound? Very good. So we're going to take compound and we are going to X it out and put it in here. Okay, number 6. A substance made up of only one type of atom. What if it's only made up of one type? Element. Very good. So let's take element and X it out and put it here. Okay, a chemical equation that does not have an equal number of atoms on both sides. I kind of want to capitalize this. It does not have an equal number on both sides. What's that called? Skeleton. Very good. That's a skeleton equation. I know who's going to do really well on this quiz on Friday. Okay, what about a number in front of a formula that tells you how many atoms or molecules are there?
Coefficient.
Coefficient. Very good. So coefficient is right here. We only have 2 left. So this one says matter or mass cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. In other words, the mass of the reactants equal the mass of the products. That's called the law of conservation of mass, which means the only one left is the process in which atoms are rearranged must be the, somebody said it before too, chemical reaction. Okay. All right. So make sure for Friday you have this down. This is your async work to finish the trophies. And then for Wednesday, for tomorrow, only come if you have less than a 70% to the Zoom. Otherwise, you're going to do the, it's a chemical reaction worksheet. It says on your own. Okay. Good job. Have a good day. Happy day, you guys.